was 3 years ago. There was nothing more valuable than Black Lives Matter. Made millions and billions of dollars.
Well,
everybody was marching.
It wasn't about that. It was about being gay.
Exactly. That's what makes. I'm telling you, that's what gets my goat. Then you really got a legit Black Lives Matter right here, and we don't do anything. So all y'all who marched in the streets, miss me with that. If you can't stick up for a legit person who's got receipts that this guy was beating women, I don't want to hear it. Every black athlete out there right now needs to be with Tish Hyman saying, we got your back. Not Offended Podcast. It's your boy Anthony Chicano. I am back from the land of Israel, and I've got a new slogan. This next 60 minutes might change your life. Why? Because we talk about culture and its influence on the church and everything in between. What we're not talking about is my Raiders. We're not talking about it. Even though we were talking about it before we came on air, and the token over here telling me right now we shouldn't win anymore, Jeremy, because it's all about draft picks. Well, Mike, if we knew how to draft people, I would agree with you.
That's a good point.
Wasn't it?
That is, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Because there's no hope if you don't know how to draft.
And obviously, you know what? You
have a new coach now, though, don't you?
Okay, we do. And even our draft then didn't go that well. Hey, by the way, I do want you guys to know that I'm so spiritual that when I was in the land of Israel, that I was at the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall, and you know the story behind that if you put your prayer in the wall.
He did not.
Listen, let me finish. If you put your prayer in the wall, they said from time to time an angel will come down, grab your prayer, and God will grant you a request. And for a split second, it went across my mind that I should write down my team. And then all I'm asking for is one Super Bowl before you take me home to glory, Lord. That's all. To win one Super Bowl. That's all I'm asking for. That's it. And then I thought to myself,
you might never die. You might live forever.
Hey, that was actually good. That was good. I expect that from you, not from me, though. And I thought to myself, I'm not wasting my one prayer on the abusive relationship that I'm in called my love affair with the Raiders. I'm not. So having said all that, hey, are you guys, I'm glad to be back, by the way. It's good to be
welcome
back.
home, yes.
There's nothing like.
Shalom.
No, thank you. There's nothing like touching American soil. 15-hour flight home.
Yeah.
Dear Lord. I tried to sleep through most of it. I did, actually. But so are you guys familiar with the 6-7 thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, familiar enough to I know that everybody says it. My kids say it.
So you know it's like international too.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Can I show you a clip though? Can I show you a clip real quick? So this is how much it's taken by storm. You can't even go to In-N-Out Burger. Watch this clip. Did your generation do anything like this?
That's just embarrassing. Is that not embarrassing? It's like, man, when you go around the world, people treat Americans so badly. Well, it's because we do stupid stuff like that.
Did you guys do stuff like this?
No, but I was like, man, in my head, I was like, is this bad? I was like, well, at least they're not smoking weed, but they could have smoked me before or afterwards. So I don't know.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
You're hoping drugs.
Yeah, I'm hoping. If you found out that they were high when they did this, you'd be like, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
There's still some hope. We still have some hope for our future. No.
Hey, but is that like a little bit of fun here? I mean, you guys, the anti-fun patrol over
No,
here?
no. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there's some Christian kids that don't know anything else that would know what 6-7 means. Just like, oh, it's a cool number. I don't know.
Okay, you guys are making me feel bad.
I don't know.
Well, you're the one over here going, oh, at least we understand.
They could be doing a lot worse things.
They could be.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Good for them.
Got his double 6-7.
Okay,
there you go.
With an animal style fry. Let's go. Okay, but I hate to be the party pooper here. So, you know, people will send me stuff and like, hey, Pastor, can you take a look at this? You know, can this make it on the podcast? Or what do you think of this? Or, you know, I get it from everywhere, right? I mean, I get people from Texas to Georgia, everywhere. People will send me stuff. It's pretty incredible. I need to know what you guys think of this concerning 6-7. I don't know. Watch this.
6-7 is demonic.
No, that means nothing.
6-7, a meme kids can't get enough of and teachers can't get away from.
We are not saying the word 6-7 anymore.
Some schools even banning the phrase in classrooms.
You are no longer allowed to say, what number do you think I'm going to say?
6-7.
All day, every day.
The trend took off a few months ago, but has re-intensified with school back in session. Thought to originate from a rap song by Skrilla. Experts we spoke to say the numbers really don't mean anything.
It's like slang to like make parents be like, what does that mean?
6-7 is a demonic chant that you guys have your kids involved with, and if your kids are doing it, you need to stop them right now. This is Skrilla. This guy's the reason your kids are saying 6-7 from a song he made called Doot Doot. Skrilla is into demonic worship. He is a santero. He's into Palo Mayumbe. And the Doot Doot or 6-7 song is literally a chant and summoning the spirits that he operates in.
I'm a santo. I do palo. I'm a santo.
What's that mean exactly?
Like all that sacrificing goats and all that not just feel like that's real life.
You sacrificed a goat.
Sacrifice goats, chickens, mice. Like I do certain like I'm not allowed to explain it.
They take y'all in my Godfather crib so he can show y'all something about my religion. With my religion. Yeah.
Follow me. Starts off with Elegua, which is the path opener, Ogum, Ochosi, Shango, Aigayu, Ochun.
Yeah, like you can put bad spirits on people too. Like you can put a person's name and like they birth inside the. You could put them inside the Agun pot. Sending Agun like metal, like they can get shot, stabbed, something can happen to them.
So it would be something in metal that would.
I heard it from him. He's in Santeria. He worships demons and he summons demons into people to harm people. In specific, he worships Ogun and Yemeya, which number 6 is Ogun in the song, and number 7 in Santeria represents Yemeya, which is exactly what he is saying in the songs, and now your kids are chanting it. It's a reason he used the Baby Shark theme. There's a reason that your kids feel addicted and like they can't stop saying 6-7, and in the songs, it's nothing but pills, drugs, and addiction. Jesus Christ could save witches and people out of witchcraft, and I pray that Skrilla gets radically saved from witchcraft and Santeria in Jesus' name, like many people are coming out of that false religion. It is demonic, it is witchcraft, and Satan is trying to feed witchcraft to lost individuals who need an identity and are vulnerable. They're seeking control, power, knowledge, money, fame, and Satan will love to give it to you in exchange for your soul. But the Bible is clear that the blessings of God come with joy, but the blessings of Satan come with sorrow. Only thing that follows witchcraft is destruction and death. Take your kids, repent and renounce with them, and get 6-7 out of your house in Jesus' name.
Okay. Thoughts?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's enough for me.
That's enough for me.
Sometimes I don't need you to make a great case. It's good enough.
He showed you the evidence.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was from the guy's mouth. That's hard to argue.
That's hard to argue. Is that hard to argue?
Well, I don't argue that was the original intent. Now, is it harmful to kids?
Like if our kids are doing it at the house, are they summoning spirits against their dad?
That's a hard one, D. I do see where you're coming from. I really do. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like now that you're aware of it, maybe you should back off. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think before that, if people didn't really know what was going on, I was like, well, what are they doing? It was just the numbers.
That's why I think not everyone agrees with me. Like the intent matters.
Oh, I agree. The intent
I don't
absolutely
think if
matters.
you're doing something that's like, hey, this was demonic 100 years ago, and like you're summoning spirits now. Like this is my personal. I don't agree. I know someone told me just recently about like a pumpkin and how you make a jack-o'-lantern and like what is that originally meaning of it is. And how it's like welcoming spirits, and they're trying to find a place to go, and it's a place they can go. It's like I had no idea. And so if someone did that and had no idea where they welcoming spirits to the front door, I don't think so. But I mean, that's how it originally started. So, I mean, I agree with what he's saying. Obviously, I mean, there's no place to argue it. But I think if a kid is doing that, I originally thought it started off with some kid at a basketball game. From what I had saw, this where it really blew up. Some kid saying 6'7", and so I still had no idea what it means and where it came from. So,
I can see where he's coming from. I don't necessarily disagree, but I do agree with you too. Like now that I know, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like now that I think when you are aware of something, well, let's go to the word. The word said, where there was no law, sin abound.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In other words, they didn't know what they were doing was wrong. And then the law came in and showed them what? You're sinning. I think this is exactly a case in point. For those who didn't know, hey, you thought it was being fun at In-N-Out Burger, waiting for the guy for your double-double and animal-style fries or whatever to say 6'7". Now you guys are just being goofy and acting, stupid and having fun. Okay. But now that you know, I think there's an awareness, and you need to act upon that as a believer. So I do agree with you. But I didn't know about the jack-o'-lantern thing either. So that is.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a ton of stuff like that. Some people say something about Nike. Are you wearing Nike? It's demonic. Like, I think people can go throughout life and they can point out a bunch of different things and tell you to go repent. You're doing demonic things.
No,
so
you're
you have to
right,
find
yeah.
out what's the balance. Like, where is it at? Like, where we draw the line.
Well, and I think for me, like, the balance is like I wouldn't want my kids doing it now that I know.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm going with you on that one.
Do I think
agree.
that because they've been messing around with that, is my house something that I need to go, pray over because of it? No, I should pray over my house anyway. But I just think that now that I know, I don't want my kids to be participating in something.
That's where I'm at too. Yeah, that's a fair balance. Okay, so lots going on. As you know, been traveling, been doing a lot of stuff out of the country. I firmly believe nobody really cares about American politics when you're in a different country because I didn't hear about it at all. I had to really search hard and to keep up. So while I was gone, we had the whole Trump Epstein thing, and supposedly it's a bombshell and all this. And I don't want to spend too much time on that. And the reason is I've sifted through everything, and I'm still at the same place. I think we brought this up a year ago. Was it a year? Maybe 6 months ago when we all were talking about it. I still land in the same position that I've been in the entire time. Matter of fact, Charlemagne the God, I never thought I'd quote him again. Like, my gosh, that's twice in November. Something must be happening. But he was with Andrew Schultz, and they were talking about it again. And Charlemagne was like, listen, if they had something on Trump, they'd have went after him 2 years ago. I mean, they went after him for 47 federal indictments of tax fraud or whatever, right? They would, if they had something so explosive, he would have never ran, basically, if he was a child predator. And I was listening, and I was like, I actually agree with you if there was something really there. And we said that. And what we said was, we really feel like this is going to incriminate some of his friends. As he got to see the rest of the files, we're like, hey, there's there's some people on this list that's going to go bad for, and that's my dog, right? I don't think Trump said that's my dog, but you know what I mean. That's my friend. And I don't want that going out. But I think equally, he has some friends who are probably Democrats he saw on there as well. He's like, hey, man, this is just bad for everybody. This is better if it just all goes away. It's the same thing Diddy did. Diddy didn't rat nobody's name because he had to rat people on both sides. And that's where I think people start losing their minds. Like, both sides are guilty, right? And even Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne were saying that. It's not just the one side. Everybody's guilty on this one, like Diddy parties, which I agree with. I don't know. We were talking about it earlier. What do you think? You think I'm still right? You think it's going to, on both sides, and it's friends on both sides, and that's why it's not really happening?
Yeah, I definitely think there's friends on both sides. Trump could have been part of it. We don't know. I don't think it's been proven. But I think a big part of it is, even if he hasn't, they were like, no, we could protect each other because someone probably does have some real dirt on Trump just in general.
Yeah.
And so it was like, well, I got to protect them so they don't talk about my dirt that I have.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it might not be illegal stuff. Just
right.
like, no, you used to hook up with all these girls. Like, stuff like that. Like, hey, no, we keep it secret. I'll protect you.
Right. And that's the world we live in, especially in politics. I think that's what people get twisted. This is the world we live in right now. This is where we are. And anyway, what were you thinking? You think same thing? There's dirt on all sides and everybody's just trying to protect everybody?
Yeah, I think sometimes we see these politicians and when they're in different parties, we think that they don't like each other.
Yeah.
I think I think there's a small segment that like legitimately they don't like each other, like people who are very polarizing figures, I think.
Right.
But for the most part, I think it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, you become friends.
You do.
You're at the same galas. You're at the, you ride the same trains. So because of that, I think what you're saying, I would agree with. There probably are people on both sides, and when you're in politics long enough, you're friends.
Yeah.
And so
or friends of friends. Yeah.
And I definitely think, who am I? But I definitely think that if there was something on Trump, they would have already played that card.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Unless they're like really, really dumb, and I don't think they are.
No, they're calculated. They're very calculated. So I agree with you. I think if they're, by the way, I do agree with you. There's probably is dirt on him. Maybe not that dirt, but of course they've all got dirt.
Oh yeah, there's tons of dirt on Trump.
But I think had they had that dirt with Epstein, they'd have played it. But do I think he's protecting friends? 100%. I can't. I just can't get away from that. And could we all be wrong here on the Not Offended podcast? No, not at all. Yeah, we can't. Okay, I do want to bring up something that I was following that I don't know how to really process this myself. In SoCal, I know we all go to the gym. In SoCal, there was a black lesbian woman. Did you follow that at all?
Yeah,
Gold's Gym.
A little bit, yeah.
Was it a Gold's? I believe it was a Gold's Gym.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was actually. My bad. It was a Gold's Gym. She went to the locker room and was changing, and she noticed a guy, and he was just staring at her. He was butt naked. It was really bad. She comes out of the locker room, and she says, "We got to get this guy out of here. It's not safe for women." She gets eviscerated, and she gets kicked out from the gym. They ban her. And so she goes on to Twitter and to Instagram to try to make her case. And she's like, listen, I don't know what all the smoke is for. I'm a black lesbian woman. I've been a lesbian longer than he's been a it or whatever she said, female, transition male. But he ain't done nothing to transition. He's staring at me. I feel uncomfortable. Other women are feeling uncomfortable. Now, come to find out, he has domestic violence charges. And he ain't been transitioned very long, or allegedly transitioned. So she goes around and she's pleading her case that women need to feel protected. And I'm sitting here going, and I'm only saying this because this is important to say. Hypothetically, because you got to check certain boxes. She checks all the boxes. She's black. She's female. She's lesbian. She says it in her. I'm not saying anything she didn't say in her Twitter rebuff here. She says it all. I'm supposed to be the most protected one. That black females don't have a voice. And she goes, no one's listening to me. I actually responded on her post. I did. I don't usually respond, but I responded. I said, I'm so sorry. You should feel safe and protected. And if I was there, I'd speak up on your behalf. And if they kick me out, they kick me out. Because that's just not fair. You shouldn't have to be through that. You shouldn't have to go through that. And you shouldn't have to be begging to plead your case. Here's why I'm bringing it up. She goes to San Francisco, and I'm going to show you this clip. And I thought, just me, if I can speak plainly, I thought she was completely respectful for having what she'd been through. She was completely respectful. But I want you to see how people treat her. As she is petitioning Scott Wiener, the representative, who's supposedly going to take Nancy Pelosi's spot. Can you do something to protect me? Can I feel safe? She goes on to share that she was a victim of abuse and that this is triggering her and she just wants to feel safe. She wants to work out in peace. But I just want you guys to see how this happens. It broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart. I'm going to show you this clip. Watch this.
Senator Wiener, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah. So we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women. And so, so if you're trans women are women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous, and we need your help because you're in the office. You're going to go in the Polisky spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know: are you going to protect women, not trans women? Women, trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic, and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are or what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country, and we have to protect the safety of all women.
We have to protect women. We cannot be raped in the bathrooms by men that want to say they're women. They're not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And my name is Tish Hyman. You heard me, sister? All right. Don't let them use our blackness and our civil rights as a reason to pass weird laws for children to transform. It's wrong. My sister's in jail. She can't get free tampons or soap, but she can get free transformation medication. Big Pharma at its best. Tired of it.
Yeah, Scott.
Well, things were going so smoothly. Well, let's talk about another uncomfortable moment. When we first started talking in 2008, when Aaron Peskin challenged you for...
Okay. What?
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was trying to look it up real quick, but yeah, the guy Scott Wiener. I just remember I mean, it's an evil dude. And so he's the reason in California. One of the reasons he helped pass this bill in California where your kids can transition at school without parents' permission.
Yeah, it's his bill.
Yeah. So I mean, this guy is not. He's not a good guy. He's an evil man. Whether he knows it or not, he's doing a lot of evil and a lot of bad in the state of California.
When you watch this video though, and you see her share the fact that this dude has DV cases, his wife had to get reconstructive surgery, and ain't nobody sticking up for. What's that do to you?
Because no one cares. It's a talking point. No, the only time everyone gets upset when she says, these men aren't women. You're like, everyone's whoa. We don't care about that. They need to be in the locker room. We don't care if you get assaulted. We don't care. You say they want to act like they care, but they don't care.
What happened to believe all women?
No, for them, trans people are the number one issue.
What'd you think? I felt so bad for her.
Man, I'm kind of speechless. It's just that's the epitome of like where we're at. The people will play whatever card they feel like they need to play to get the agenda that they want to get passed, right? So they'll play on her color or their skin color. They'll play on her sexual preference, but at the end of the day, like they want to get what they want passed. That dude Wiener is a bad dude. He's a very bad dude.
But they use her.
Yeah.
They use her only when it's for their benefit. They would love to play her black lesbian card all day.
I'm telling you, this is look, coming from Portland. This is exactly what it's like up there. This is that
we
right
only
there.
use people when we need to use them.
That is, when you talk about what racism in the South looks like, we could probably all paint a very good picture.
Sure, Klan, this, that, yeah.
But when you talk about racism in the liberal left, super left-leaning party, this is what it looks like. They don't. At the end of the day, they will use you. They use the people of color. They'll use immigration. They'll use anything they can to pass. Because she says it in the room. She says anybody in the room. Look around the room. The room is all his constituents, which are what?
It was all white. It was all white. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Those are all his people. Not
Yeah.
meaning just colored people, but like people, his colored. You know what I'm saying?
I got that.
But like this is it. This is the liberal. The far left is super racist. I'm telling you.
We can't say he's wrong.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
we'll use you to get
Yeah.
our stuff passed, but they don't. We don't really want to help you.
But where's our sense of humanity? Where's our sense of humanity? She brought receipts. I told you she was respectful to him. They were disrespectful to her over that's not a woman. Was she not? She was respectful. She had a note. She read it. She was articulate. She said, "You've done a lot of good." She didn't come out bombastic. You SOB this. She didn't do any of that.
Well, he didn't. When you're beat, you're beat.
But I'm just saying.
He didn't have anything he could say back.
But she didn't do anything to warrant what they did to her. Is what I'm saying.
Well, she played the "that's not a woman" card, and when she played that, she lost.
But she's not wrong.
No, I'm not arguing that. I agree.
She's not wrong.
In that room, she's wrong.
In that room, she's wrong.
and
I can't believe the Gold's Gym. Like, that's crazy to me.
Okay, but this is where we've gotten. We've gotten to a place where we're cowards.
Yeah, because what happens to Gold's Gym if they do kick that dude out?
They think they're going to get sued.
Yeah.
It's a lot worse for them. It's a lot easier for them to kick her out and just keep moving.
So Black lives don't matter?
Well, their money matters. Their business matters. For them, that's what I'm saying. It's easier. They can go to bed knowing.
Okay, that's it. That's the whole thing that pissed me off. The whole thing that pissed me off was 3 years ago, there was nothing more valuable than Black Lives Matter. Made millions and billions of dollars.
Well,
everybody was marching.
It wasn't about that. It was about being gay.
Exactly. That's what makes, I'm telling you, that's what gets my goat. Then you really got a legit Black Lives Matter right here, and we don't do anything. So all y'all who marched in the streets, miss me with that. If you can't stick up for a legit person who's got receipts that this guy was beating women, I don't want to hear it. Every black athlete out there right now needs to be with Tish Hyman saying, "We got your back." Or you know what? All of that was whack and garbage. Miss me with it. I'm done with you. You got a legit case.
Yeah. Money talks. They sponsorship, sponsorship will walk away.
And he's a white dude.
Yeah, and they interviewed him on TMZ. And
I saw that.
Yeah.
The guy?
Yeah, they did.
And they asked him, "Do you still have all your parts?" And he was like, "Well, it's complicated."
And then he finally answered, "I do."
What do you don't know?
No, he knows because that's what she was.
Yes, because she's. Yes.
She said, and I quote, "He was messing with himself," and that's how it all started. So this is what gets my blood hot. This is what gets my blood hot. D is we got a legit case of a woman who needs to be protected, and we don't protect. We don't, and that's it. They just okay. I'm done. Before I'm gonna have like veins popping stuff. I'm jet lagged. Y'all gonna give me the flesh. Timmy Tebow. Can we say this is a good guy? Can we all agree this is a good guy?
It's a great guy.
He's better man than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I can say it. I got no shame in saying it. Tim Tebow, you're a better man than us because my brother, you the real deal. You a real Christian. You a real one. The way you have led at Florida in the South, you were an icon. You didn't let it go to your head. You didn't sleep around. Like, you the real deal, Tim. You're a better man than me. You the real deal. Now what he's doing on behalf of people who are being marginalized or trafficked, if we could say it that way as well. Tim's the man. Went on Andrew Schultz. I think Forrest Frank and Tim Tebow are brothers. They just built different. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Not because they're white.
No. I know why you're saying. I know why you're saying that.
Why am I saying that?
Well, speak on that.
Why do you think I'm saying that? Why do you think I'm saying that?
No, even when the Forrest Frank responded before, it's like with this love and just like, hey, no hate, no malice. Is this?
He don't even get worked up like I do. They cut from the same cloth, Mike. They cut from. I think they're brothers. I don't know how they relate, but they gotta be brothers.
Yeah, do they get mad? You know,
I don't think they get mad.
They get mad. I'm mad. I'm really mad.
I'm so upset right now.
I'm so upset. I could just.
But you know what? I'm going to pray for you instead. Tim Tebow goes on Andrew Schultz, and he just knocks it out the park. He knocks it out the park. I recommend everybody to watch that podcast with Andrew Schultz. Do not watch it with your kids because, you know, they cuss. Mm-hmm. Tim Tebow don't, but they do. But this is good for you to watch. I want to play a clip. Deshaun, I think I told you this. I felt myself in a little bit of a conundrum because I said it was a great podcast, but it was a horrible podcast. Mm-hmm. And I know you knew what I meant. Some of the things Tim said on that podcast when it came to trafficking of kids and child on the internet and all that broke me. I couldn't believe it. So I'm going to play a little clip from that. But I do think parents should watch it. I think it's highly educational. I think they need to be aware of how evil this world is. And can I just say this? So we're in the Old Testament, and I was thinking about something that somebody had said the other day, and they said that when the fullness of the sin of the people reached its limit with God, he wiped them out. And I think you know what I'm talking about. I think it was the Amorites, whatever. They had not reached the fullness of the sin, like Nineveh, Nineveh.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here thinking, that's us, America. Like, we're having these opportunities to repent and to get it right. But when I watched the Tim Tebow thing, you know what I thought? Yeah, God, you probably should just start over with us. This is horrible. This is absolutely not right. I did. I don't know. Am I over-exaggerating? Or, I mean, I don't want him to. Like, Lord, please have mercy. But I'm saying I wouldn't be mad at you if he did. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Man, it's just heartbreaking. Even some of the other stories he just told and stuff that he's seen, and it's crazy. And they talk about it, and I don't know what this clip is, but they talk about everyone thinks it's always in another country. No, it's overseas, but it's like no, it's happening right here. Okay, like it could be your neighbor. Like
I'm gonna show the clip, and then people can see what we're talking about. Okay, watch this.
But I pulled something just for you guys. Can y'all pull that up? You see that? Those red dots? This is New York State. That every red dot is a unique IP address that is downloading and sharing child images and videos, and that's just the last 30 days in the state of New York.
Jesus. Whoa.
And
is the FBI arresting these people?
Well, do you see the blue dots? Those are the ones that are being investigated.
Just investigation?
The blue dots are the ones that are being investigated.
But if you have a confirmed IP address that's sharing this type of content,
so it's a good conversation, and a lot of people will say, well, how are they not doing more? Our law enforcement, can areas get better? Of course, but our law enforcement is so undermanned. It does not have many places, does not have the best tech. They are undermanned. There is a few people that their job is this. It is not a lot. Like we have, we want to talk about all these things and they can't, and defund them. Listen, when you defund them, you're not actually caring for these boys and girls. Yeah. I think we need to escalate how many hires we have, especially in victim identification, to keep these boys and girls safe. It's one of our bills in Congress. Is the Renewed Hope Act is so that we would hire more victim identification specialists to be able to identify these boys and girls so that we can knock on that door and go safeguard that child.
Why do you think that this is not unanimously supported or even spoken about? Like it seems
we've been speaking a lot about it.
Of course you guys have, but like,
why is it not amplified?
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Well, we wrote our bill specifically in a way for right or left, because for us, it's not about politics. It's about people, especially people that are suffering. Yeah. And this is trafficking, except this is just trafficking down the hall.
Yeah.
The number one offender in this, biological fathers.
No way.
Whoa. Yes.
Do you think people aren't doing
more about this because we feel, oh, this is a problem over there?
I think that is a big part of it. Yes, I feel like we think it's just over there. And
over there meaning overseas.
Overseas,
other
we think
countries,
it's Taken, Liam Neeson. We think it's all of these other things when it's not. We have so many issues that are taking place right here in our country. And I could keep going off list. We're the #1 buyer of for boys and girls around the world. America is.
Yep, fullness of sin. I'm telling you, it's. You think I'm playing? Like, Lord, I would understand if he did. He said #1 offender, biological fathers.
Yeah, that was a crazy. That's what I was looking up to make sure I couldn't remember if it was right. I didn't want to say it, and it was in this clip that the #1 offender is about. I was like, it's just crazy. It's just. And before I saw this, talking to someone last week, and I was like I'm just amazed. Like it's not amazed. It's just crazy to me how many people have been sexually abused. Like
Well-
I'm just shocked by it. It's like something I just didn't know about, and more I'm a pastor, you just see how many people have just faced that in their life. Like so many people, and it was like I don't know. Like, and I was telling them, I don't know how you even trust people. Like I was like, I'm supposed to be a pastor, and I'm telling them, like, I understand if you don't trust me with your kids. Like, why would you? Like, why would you? Who can you trust? Like, there's, and it's just like you always think it's that person. That person. It's like, no, it's right next to you.
Why isn't this passed? Why is it this sitting on Trump's desk right now? Why do we need to? What are we doing?
I mean, I do think a big part of it is people don't know. Well, obviously, a lot of people are involved in it, and a lot of people don't know. I think all of them. I didn't know about it. Everyone on that podcast didn't know about it. Like, they didn't know it was just like.
So is it America's big secret? We're the #1 consumers.
Yes, and I kept thinking, I wish I'm not going to, but I was like, how much of this? I don't know. Could it be just people just like looking at stuff online and they don't know, where this is coming from? I was like literally trying to rationalize, like, how is this possible? Is it that evil? Or are you actually going out looking for that?
Bishop, I'm going to say this. You keep messing with God's kids, it's over.
Oh man,
no, it's over for us as a nation. It is the one thing God will not tolerate. His tolerance at that is it's a little less than for everything else. I'm telling you right now.
So far, scripture reading chapter 9 last like yesterday, and I'm looking more to that. To me, it just and it was hard. I was a couple hours yesterday just looking into it because everyone kept talking about like God's grace because He tells Israel, you're going to this land. It's not based upon what you've done. But I thought it was interesting. He kept saying, the reason I'm having you wipe all of them out is because they're evil.
Yes.
And people are always thinking, like, why does God allow them to destroy this whole nation?
They were evil.
And if you see it right here, they were evil. And you look at what they were doing, the Canaanites and the Amorites.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, Jezebites, yeah.
It was child sacrifice.
Yep.
Sex temples.
Yep.
And I was like,
it was raping kids.
Yeah, and I was like, who were they going after? They were going after poor, all the servants. It wasn't the rich people. If the rich people were part of it, it's because they wanted to be. But it was all those people who had nothing, they had no power, they had no authority, literally sacrificing their kids and using them as a sex slave.
Yep.
And I kept thinking after this, heard this podcast, I was like, man, this is what you're saying is like, is this America? Is this how we get wiped out? Because God says no more, that we reach our fullness. And He's like, I'm done with you, because this is the one thing He doesn't put up with. And you go to the New Testament, you see Jesus. He gets mad at them for like, hey, no, don't forsake those little kids. If you do, it's better for you to have something tied around your neck and you thrown into the ocean.
A millstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The woman called it adultery. She gets called adultery. It's like, no, you're taking advantage of her. Where's the guy at?
Yes.
No, you're just using her.
Yes.
Again, just using people who have no power, because women had no power then. And this is the same thing that we see what he's expressing that was going on in America right now. What is it? Has God heart? Is it still the same? He doesn't change.
Doesn't change.
If this is the route we're going, we can say, if we keep going this direction, that God will destroy America for this. We've seen Him done it in the past. We've seen Him do it with Israel constantly over and over again. We've seen Him do it with all these nations. What does it make God think? What's to make us think that we're so special that God won't do it to us?
In footnote, nobody's experienced God's judgment more than Israel, and that's His beloved.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's experienced more judgments against Him than Israel. Jesus' last judgment still reigns supreme. Mm-hmm. Not one stone will be left on another. There won't be a temple. There's still not a temple because of that judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You're 100% right. That's what I'm saying. God, I ain't mad at you. If you decided to wipe us out, we had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
And partially the reason we have it coming is because you got a good guy like Tim trying to get this passed, and it ain't passed. You know what, man? That's discouraging. Y'all can bicker and fight, but we got real problems. Real problems with kids. But y'all want to bicker and fight.
Well, Wiener's fighting for that. Again, he wanted to change it, the limit of the age where it's not abuse that have sex.
Yeah, to like 16 or 14.
Yeah. It's like, no, they're fighting for these things. Like I'm saying, that's how evil these people are in the eyes of God.
Woo! I don't know. Anything you want to add to that one? He set it up. That was
well. I was thinking about it because you had mentioned, how come we're not hearing more about this? Well, who are those red dots? If you have people who are in positions of power who are doing these things, then they're going to do the best that they can to mute it. So if you have TV producers, if you have news magazine editors, if you have people in the media,
CEOs of banks,
Epstein,
Epstein,
people with
Diddy.
I mean, we know that if you have power, you can push out an agenda, and if you also have power, you can quiet it down.
You can shut it down.
So, as far as like why this isn't passed, through Washington D.C., maybe it's still fairly new for the bill that he's working on. I don't know, but I do think that they will do their very best to silence it, to where we don't know, to where the masses don't know.
You're right.
And he mentions it somewhere. This is worth billions. People are getting rich off this. Again, it's that whole idea they have power. We're not letting this get through. You're gonna mess with our money.
Lord, come quickly.
And this whole podcast isn't that. I almost cried a couple of times with this podcast, but one of them was, man, he does a great job of sharing the gospel. Yeah. So, if you're wondering what's about, like, man, he shares in a powerful. It was so simple. But the way he shares it, like his heart is so powerful.
Well, what's the guy, Wes Huff, right?
Yeah.
When it's funny because when I haven't seen this whole episode. I just seen parts of it. But when Wes Huff was on there, the way that they talked and the guys on the podcast, like the way that they carried themselves with Wes Huff, to me was completely different with Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he shuts him up a couple of times. They're like, I don't know what to say.
No.
Well, can I just go on the record? Tim pretty ripped though.
Yeah.
Well, because like the guy that's like I don't know, Indian, right?
Yeah.
He was kind of bombastic with
with
Wes Huff,
for
right?
Sure.
And he was very gentle. I think would be a good way to put it with Tim Tebow, because you can't argue with Tim.
He said he knew who Tim Tebow was. Like, he saw throughout his life how he carried himself. Like, Tim Tebow has the receipts throughout his life. Like, everyone knows. Like, no, he's real.
Well, and I think that's encouraging for us as believers, because we had talked about it because Wes Huff, I think he cusses on that episode. Yeah. And I think somebody like that dude will take advantage of that and be like, oh, yeah, even though you were making a point, like you're not really who you say you are. And I think like it's encouraging for us. Like when we walk out our faith, it's hard to argue it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since we went there already, let's talk about what we've been reading. As most people probably aren't aware of, we're in the book of Devarim. You would call that Deuteronomy. Since I got back from the land of Israel, a little Hebrew there. And you'd brought that up about chapter 9. It's interesting that you would bring that up because he says, I'm going to give you the land that you will inherit. Inherit means you didn't do nothing to earn it. I gave it to you. Mm-hmm. He even goes on to say, listen, you didn't build any buildings. You didn't plant any vineyards. You're just going to inherit it. And then he gives them a warning. But if you get caught slipping and you stray from me, I could take all that back. And I thought, my goodness, God ain't playing. And he's adamant about you teach your children. You take care of your children.
Put it on your walls, pour the doorstep.
He said, bind it on your hand and your forehead. He said it all.
When you rise, when you go to sleep.
Still to this day, that's what they do. That's why I bought everybody a mezuzah. If you guys want a mezuzah, you put one on your door. You got to put it on your doorpost. They bind it to the hand. They wear it on the head. My point in saying all that is, the fullness of those other people's sin had reached the heavens, and God wasn't playing. And he said, listen, just as I had you wipe them out, somebody can come wipe you out. And I thought that was interesting. And that's why I'm saying, like, after watching that, I was like, Lord, do what you need to do then. Because the kids shouldn't suffer. Remember, because he said, I brought you out when you were suffering. I heard your cry when you were suffering. And I brought you out with my right hand. I showed you how good I was. So anyway, did anything else stick out in you guys in Deuteronomy? that you had read?
In 7, I'll read verse 22.
Yeah.
It says, "The Lord your God will drive out those nations before you, little by little. You will not be allowed to eliminate them all at once, or the wild animals will multiply around you."
Oh, interesting.
And I think what stuck out to me about that was, I think oftentimes we look at like the obstacles around us, and we're like, "Man, God, how come this isn't eliminated already?"
Yeah.
You know, like I thought it would be easier than this. But that he was using the enemies to still protect them. Right. And so it's like the different. So I was just thinking about like the different things in my life and just perspective of the hardships that maybe I go through, or the things around me that I wish were different. And maybe I need to look at them differently because God may be using it differently than I'm viewing it as.
Oh, wow. I like that. What about you? Anything else stood out to you?
Yeah, I know this. People always bring up the Old Testament. God had them wipe all the people out. How could this be a loving God? But we see that even with Jonah, that he gets to go there and he gets to preach the gospel, and they turn. And God, God say he doesn't kill the nation, doesn't destroy the nation. God's heart is always for people, and I truly believe that anytime God gave these people a chance to repent, and they could have been saved, but they chose not to. And so I think that's the heart of God. So when you read this Old Testament, know that, hey, these people are doing evil things, and God is a God of justice. But he gives them a chance to repent, but they don't always do it.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it a little bit different, but you're so spot on. He gives you a chance to make it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People, for whatever reason, always miss that.
Mm-hmm.
God will give you a chance to make it right.
His heart is not to destroy.
It's not. So you know what I say? Go make it right. Mm-hmm. Go do what you need to do. And God's whole intention with the Jews in the Old Testament was to make them a light unto a nation. He even tells them, you're not the strongest, you're not the biggest. Mm-hmm. It's that I'm on your side is why you're winning. Mm-hmm. That's it. And I need you to carry my word and be a light to the world, a generation just that's set apart and different. And I say all that because I need you guys to help me make sense. Make it make sense for me right now. What was trending it's still trending right now because a lady's doing it in the UK, was there was a woman who called when the whole SNAP EBT thing was canceled. She called a bunch of Christian churches and nobody would help her. She ends up saying 2 inner city black churches helped her or offered to help her. She had a crying baby on in the background. But the moment she called a mosque, they were immediately going to help her and give her the baby formula that her baby needed. Other people are like, you need to be a member. Nope, we have something else for that. And so now what's been trending is all these people are going to convert to Islam because they're so generous. And where would we be without the Nation of Islam? Where would we be without the Prophet Muhammad? He's such a great guy. And so all this stuff is trending that the Christian church is broken. It's a hot mess. And you got all these pastors defending. And there was this one, I take that back. There was this one small church with a white pastor. They made sure they always inserted the color, just so you know. And apparently he was like, hey, I'll meet you down at the church. You can come look through the food pantry. You can have whatever you need. And if we don't have it here, I'll go buy you some formula.
Man, what a nice guy.
What good old grandpa guy, too. Good old grandpa. And so she made sure that he was mentioned, and apparently they raised like $90,000 for his church, and he was so grateful. They're just a very poor church. And I was like, okay, that's good. Another pastor got up and defended himself. We didn't know who that woman was. We didn't know if it was a scam. So it's a hot mess right now. It's all going everywhere. It's going crazy. She's blasting everybody. She's not even a believer. She's actually a witch. No, she's identified as a witch, yeah. And so one black pastor says, I don't deal with demonic things. And I was like, well, she's right too. Mm-hmm. And so they got mad at him because he called it for what it was. And anyway, it's going back and forth. And here's what I came to. Make it make sense. This is the conclusion. We're not going to always get it right. We're not. Even as a church, we're not going to get it right. It's just who we are as people. However, we have an opportunity to make it right. And how do we make it right? We got to own our mistake. If she really called churches and nobody helped, then why not just get up and get on it and say, listen, hey, we made a mistake. We should have helped her. Why not own it? Why is it so hard to own stuff, Bishop? Why is it so hard to get back up and say, listen, we missed the mark on that, and we've learned from this, and we're going to do better, we're going to be better because God has called us to be salt and light? Why is it so hard to admit that?
Because it's hard for people to receive that. I mean, people aren't going to hear that and like, oh, I like that. They're like, no, you should have helped her. We don't care. So you feel this need to actually just defend yourself. But for people to know, it's not always that easy to figure out. If a church is only there all the time just to help every single person that shows up and to give money, it's like you're not going to have anything. You're not going to be able to do ministry. You're not going to be able to share the gospel. And so to the defend those, it's not always that simple to answer every phone call and say, okay, I'm going to give this out to you. I'm going to give this out to you. It's like, well, you still got to keep the lights on the church. Like you're not just simply a food bank, or some churches have a food bank. And so, but it's hard to get up and say that because everyone's criticizing you, so you feel need to defend yourself. But
don't you, just asking you if I can't play the other side of it a little bit, but shouldn't we just still own it as in general as the capital C church and just really give a thorough explanation? Hey guys, you know what? In this specific scenario, with knowing that people are in a food crisis and all this, we could have done better. And matter of fact, our church as a whole, we do subscribe and we do sponsor a food bank. And what we really should have done is referred her to over there. I just think a little bit more communication.
Yeah, you should explain it. I mean, she probably ain't gonna like that still. People probably still gonna criticize you.
Okay, but I think I can handle that criticism. I know we sponsor the rescue mission. I know we sponsor a lot of things. We ourselves are not in a position to host a food bank. We're landlocked. We have no property to do that. But I have no problem also sponsoring Convoy of Hope, sponsoring all these things that we do. And then we do have the Care Porter that we're closely tied to. You know what I'm saying? But I still think it's okay. And I got no problem even saying for the rest of the Christian churches, hey, we just missed that mark. We could have done better. And this is a moment we can be better. We can grow from this. I still don't. And if you're going to criticize me for that, then fine. But I still think we could have just navigated that a little bit better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you can't scratch every need. Like when people ask me for money, I don't feel bad at all if I don't have to give them money, unless God moves me to give them money, because I give the certain things that help people. Like I'm intentional about my giving, and I ain't got to feel bad about it. I'm probably giving more than most people do. So I don't walk around feeling like, hey, you can shame me into like, oh no, let's feel like God leads me to give. And so know where your church is at, you personally, where you're at, and helping people, and don't let someone shame you.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I'm going to say some rhetorical, satirical things, and you understand why. Where's the Convoy of Islam? Where's the Halil of Red Cross? Every time, like what's going on in Jamaica, you know the first people are in Jamaica when that whole thing hit? Christians. Every time there's an emergency, there's the Red Cross, Salvation Army, Convoy of Hope. Where's the Dream Center for Mecca or for Islam? When I know about the Dream Center down in LA, we got Homeboy Ministries. I could keep going. These people are cherry picking, and that's what makes me upset.
Yeah.
Every time there's a crisis, you know who's there? America. Christians. Rebuilding homes. Giving food. Searching for people. Am I wrong in that?
No.
Okay.
we have to or what? Well, I mean, I also don't think that's a coincidence that you have a witch who's trying to make the church look bad.
Oh, no, that's what that black pastor said. They were getting on him. He could have just owned it. I'm like, well, he didn't say anything that was wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, if she really is like a self-identified
She did.
witch,
That's what
it's
she
like,
said.
yeah, of course she's going to spin every which way in order to make the church look bad.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you look around the world, it's always Christians throughout history who've been making an impact.
Yeah.
And we have one mulligan and people are ready to throw us out with the bathwater. See, they're too busy trying to build mega churches. Oh, okay, do you want us to sit outside? You ain't got nothing to say about mosques and how big they are. Go around the world. Look at how big they are, how beautiful they are, how prestige they are. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, go join a church. You have some people to help you. Yeah. Go to church on every Sunday. See what happens. You might have someone you can call.
Yeah, I don't put any stock into what she has to say. I mean, you can always be better. There's always ways to communicate things in a better way. But I mean, unless you really know like how a church is ran, what the church has, she's just pointing fingers.
And here's the other thing. I agree with what you said. You don't know how much I give. You don't know what I do for other people, and nor do I care if you know or not. But I definitely don't feel bad. That's a fact.
Yeah, just know, like, okay, what's God leads you to do, and go do that, and don't let no one shame you.
That's
but
it.
if you feel like God at one point asked you to do something special for that person who comes up, go
Then
do
let's
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're feeling shame because you're not doing, maybe you're not doing what God calls you to do.
All right, I just had to get on that because that bro, that was so big. You can't jump on X and not see that. It's because now all these people converting to Islam, and I'm thinking, like, you don't even know what you're converting to. Okay, listen. I took everybody from the church to Israel. You know what I come to realize? We the middle child. We walked down. We got a little lost walking the streets of Israel. You know me. We going on a little walk. We were supposed to try to find the old city. We're going to map it out.
Last time it was a little bus ride. This
It was
time
a
it
little bus ride. It was a walk.
This one's okay.
Okay, well, should have been a half mile turned into 2 miles.
Was Elias with you? On the
No,
trip?
no.
Okay.
And so we go down a strictly Muslim quarter, like, Palestinian quarter, Arab quarter. And it was like, nobody looked really happy to see us. Matter of fact, I went into a little shopping center to get some nafta. It's a sweet bread that's real good. And they wasn't too eager to help me.
You got a good beard, too.
I know. I figured,
Got a little olive skin.
Practicing on my Arabic over here. But then it's funny is I go into the Jewish quarter, and I go into a little bakery, and I was treated so rudely. Apparently, you're not supposed to mix your baked goods because she was throwing bags at me telling me to separate it in Hebrew. Now, I was like, if it wasn't for some sweet girl who was from Chicago, shout out whoever you were, telling me, hey, she's telling you got to separate these things. I'm like, well, I don't understand things she said. Funniest part was it says, we accept cash. So I said, okay, I'm going to play with cash. She goes, no, you ain't. We don't accept cash here. And I'm like, the sign says we accept cash. Anyway, by the way, it's all on film. So one of the people from the church was recording it. I was like, okay, this is funny. I was like,
trying to get paid.
I'm just trying to give y'all some money. So it's funny. There's another dude behind
She
me.
looking at that like, you can't cancel me.
Yeah.
This is my country.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So it was crazy. I was like, you know what? I ain't getting no love from any side right now. And you know what I'm sitting here thinking? I'm the middle child. I'm just, you know what? Y'all wouldn't survive without me right now. Y'all should be loving you some Americans right now. Like we the bona fide middle child right here. Like as believers, we're the ones over here going, hey, take that down a notch. Hey, we could do better over here. We're the ones in the middle. And I'm sitting here thinking, even in our own country, you need Christians. You need Christians. Why? Because as a Christian, I could look at Tish and I could say, sweetheart, ma'am, whatever you want to be called, you need to be protected. And I care about you. And I care that you were traumatized. And before I see you as, you kept saying you're a lesbian, black lesbian, before I ever see you as that, I see you as an image bearer of God. And you're worthy of dignity and you're worthy of respect. And we need not be cowards. We need to help you. That's what Christians do. Mm-hmm. We're also able to look at that spineless, evil senator, representative, whatever he is, and say, you're wrong. You are wrong. And if you really want to help trans people, build a third bathroom. Stop putting that domestic violent perpetrator with women, period. Until he cuts it all off, I don't want to hear it. That's it. You need us. Why? Because we're able to be in the middle. We're able to say wrong is wrong and right is right. And y'all need to fix it. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we Christians help provide a freedom for people to live and get them make their own decisions. People hate us for some reason, but you're not going to get this with Islam. You're not going to get this freedom to live the way you want to live and not be forced down your throat.
You got women's rights because of us.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting it in Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Every person has dignity because of Christianity. Everywhere else, there's caste systems. There's people look down upon it, and that's from their faith.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to see how this plays out in New York.
We are. We absolutely are.
This is what you wanted. You about to get it.
You about to get it.
Did you see that that ex-NFL guy came out?
Yeah.
And he said, because somebody got shot this weekend. One of the NFL players got shot this weekend in New York.
You're right. They did. I was thinking about the coach in Oakland, too. Coach Bean.
Current NFL player got shot in New York. He plays for the Jets,
He's still in critical condition, though, ain't he? Or
I'm not sure.
Stable or whatever. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but this retired NFL player said, I would mandate it in a contract that if you are in New York, that you won't go out at night.
And you got security. Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, this is lawlessness. And he goes, and it's going to only get worse because of who they're putting in office.
Mandani. Mm-hmm. Which brings me to, we talking about the Miracles campaign. And this week, talking about Capernaum, we were talking about the women with the issue of blood. We were talking about the daughter of Jairus who died. And we're talking about Christ's interaction with people. And you alluded to it earlier. As believers, we are to follow the model of Jesus. Matter of fact, it was crazy. Loved my tour guide. We called him Nino Anise, because Mexicans, we always give like a little surname, a little nickname, right? So we called him Padrino, the Godfather here, Nino. Plus, his ringtone was the Godfather. It was the Godfather music. It was fitting. It was fitting. And I love that guy. When we were with him, he was telling us all the miracles of Jesus. We're doing the whole tour with him. We're doing all this stuff. And we're going to these places. We went to Bethlehem. We went to Jericho. And I'm seeing, the struggles. Had a great conversation with people on both sides. And I'm walking through Capernaum, and I'm thinking about the miracles. And I'm shooting the video content, as you guys saw, and all the other video content, that we're doing. And I'm, just kind of walking through the footsteps of the woman with the issue of blood. And it's interesting. He says to me, him and I are having I'm sitting up front, so we're having all these conversations. He goes, I led a tour a few years ago, and this lady from Indonesia corrected me. And I said, what'd she correct you about? She goes, don't ever say, follow me. Those words are only reserved for Jesus. You can say, come with me. You can say, come to where I am, but don't say, follow me, because it's an honor to follow Jesus. So we all start laughing. I go like, she really blew you up about that? He goes, yeah. So from there on out for the rest of the trip, he goes, are you with me? And we all responded like, yeah. And I got to thinking about that. She's not wrong. That's what he said. And that's what made the rich young ruler such a powerful story. He said, come and follow me. He gave him an open invitation to be. In my personal theological stance, if you guys would, I believe he was going to be the 12th apostle. I believe he was going to replace Judas. He would have made 13 at the time, but he would have been the 12th because Judas would have been gone. There would have been no casting of lots. They would have had 12 again. Because you got to have 12 tribes, okay? When he said that, it really, I'm walking around Capernaum, I'm doing all these stories, and it really got me thinking, we're supposed to model Jesus. And that's why that story hit different for me this weekend. When he looked at the woman, he said, daughter. That tells me we are to see people as image bearers before we see anything else. Before we label them gay, image bearer. Before we label them immigrant, image bearer. Before we label them anything, black, white, anything, image bearer. I truly believe that if we could do that, and trust me, I struggle just as much as everybody else. Had a homeless guy on the front porch, drugs out in the open, looked like he smeared his food on the concrete. I'm trying to open up for prayer. And I had to catch myself, Bishop. I had to say, no, image bearer. Before he was homeless, he's an image bearer. And it changed the way I totally talked to him. Excuse me, sir. Hey, good morning. Hey, all discombobulated. I say, hey, I don't want to rush you. I got to open up for prayer this morning. Is there anything I can help you with? Oh, no, man. Oh, okay, I'll get going. I'll get going. And, of course, and I know he left his mess. I got a little ruffled. I was like, see, man, I'm cool to him, and this is what happens. And I just felt the Lord saying, I swept up after you. That's my faith. Like, that's what we need more of. Not flipping people off and calling names and doing all this crap. But just like, see humanity first. He's high. Of course, he don't know he left a mess. He also left change. They need money. They ain't leaving change. He's high. And it just jacked me up this morning. Like, we got it. It's daughter. Not defiled. It's daughter. Not unclean. It's daughter. And so it really I shot these videos and I shot them with a whole different perspective of the Miracles campaign. It changed when he said, it's only reserved for Jesus to follow me. And I was tore up. I was just like, what a privilege that I heard and responded to the master who said, hey, Anthony, come follow me. And I shouldn't take it lightly that I'm on this journey. Because because I heard Master, and now I get to follow him. Anyway, that's what stood out to me. What about you guys? The Miracles campaign.
Go along with that. I mean, I had breakfast with someone last week, and there's a guy in our area close to our church. And when I see him and when he's sober, I'll like to try to talk to him. Majority of the time, he's not sober. He's pretty like really drunk. And find out the person I was meeting with goes to our church, and it's actually his brother.
Oh my gosh!
And we ran into it. He's like, "Yeah, you might see my brother walking." I was like, "Wait, what's your brother's name?" I was like, "Yeah." Like every time I see him, if he's sober, I try to talk to him. And I used to always like constantly like pray for him. And as I haven't in a long time, and it just hit me. I was like, man, these are people's family. Like this is truly someone, who I care about. This guy that goes to our church, and like, man, this is his brother. And it's like everyone who walks by, everyone who's on the street, they have a brother, they have a sister, they have family who's praying for them and care for them. And it's like this helped remind me of that, not to give up. Like, man, the impact it can make on someone's life. That, like you always talk about, we do church because we think, someone's going to be there for my family. I'm going to be there for yours here. And just like, but it's so easy to forget those things. Yeah. And it's to keep that in front of me, like, these people I'm meeting with, these people I'm coming in contact with, there might be someone back there praying, and I'm the answer that God's going to use me to answer that prayer. And just to constantly remember that, like, and not just take every day, just like another day, another person you meet with, another person you're talking to, and just really connect with that. From your message, just, I forgot how you said it, but really, James 1:8 says a double-minded person is unstable in all his ways. You said something that was really good, and I couldn't remember how you said it. I have to go back and watch it. And everyone in the room was like, oh, wow, like that was good. And there's this idea of like, you have Christ in you now, but now you still go out to sin and you're unhappy with the sin.
Oh, you got just enough Jesus in you to make you miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of us, and even to the extent like where it's like this egregious sins, or maybe it'd be like unforgiveness. Your life is sort of just in this sort of like this torment inside of you because you want to live for God, but you still have this unforgiveness you don't want to deal with. Or God saying, let me take control of that, and you don't want to let go of control. So you never can have this peace. You're always uneasy because you're one foot on this side, one foot on this side. And it's like, no, if you just go all in, you'll find a peace. And I think a lot of times we're just holding on to that, not even just like a sin, but it's holding on to something. You're supposed to have a conversation with someone, but you don't want to do it. So it's just always this rub inside of you, and just really just hit me, just like, man, I got to let those things over to God, and I'm going to find peace on the other side.
Yeah, no, that's good. What about you, Mike? That was good.
Yeah. How do I follow that? You and then him. I think we just say, hey, you guys did great. I think one of the things that stuck out to me was, sometimes the answer to your prayers wasn't the answer that you wanted. Okay. And so just really, really trusting, like, whatever God has for me, whatever's in front of me, like seeking, hey, God, is this your will? Is this something that I feel like I should be praying should be different? Or is this something that I feel like I need to have a different perspective? Because I think all too often I'm, maybe fighting against something that God's doing in my life, where it's like, if I just embrace it and see it a different way, that will really help me to grow and to be kind of, to develop the way that I think God's trying to. He put this in my path in order to develop me. But if I keep pushing away and fighting against it and praying it off, like, it's not developing me. So it's this trusting God and whatever's in front of me, and really like seeking his voice and seeking his word, and to know like, hey, is this something I'm supposed to be receiving, or is this something that's still needing me to pray that it'll change? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that was great, both of you. So I'm back from Israel, and I'm just looking through all these videos and all the places I got to go for the first time and just really soak in. And I'm literally walking around the Ramparts Wall the last day. I'm going to another location, and it hits me that I've had all these little moments with God. From the Sea of Galilee, which I've taken you guys on, the boat ride at night. God gives us a prophetic word, profound. I'm on Mount Tabor, the Mount of Transfiguration. I have a moment with God. It's unreal. I'm at the Wailing Wall this time. I know I joked about the Raiders, but in all seriousness, I'm just having a moment. I go underneath to the other side of where they found the continuation of the Western Wall. It's incredible. John and I got to be part of an example, and they showed us all this about the Temple Mount. I'm on Mount of Olives. I took, places that I went to Bet Shean, Tel Dan. I'm at Banias. I'm at places that we didn't get to go to. Long story short, I'm having all these little moments with God, and I'm waking up in the morning early to reflect on these moments because there's just so much to take in. Baptism in the Jordan, upper room Holy Spirit experience. And I'm stuck on a moment. And I'm going to share it with you guys. I haven't got a chance to share it. I thought about preaching it, but I'm going to share it with you guys on the podcast. It's an exclusive. I'm on Mount Tabor, and I'm rereading the story of the Mount of Transfiguration. And something catches me that I know I've seen and I've read. It didn't make sense. And that is, it says that Jesus is with Peter, James, and John, and he is transfigured, and he's seated with Moses and Elijah. And since we just got done reading the Old Testament and we're in Deuteronomy, I'm reminded that God takes Moses up on top of the mountain. He says, look over to the promised land. You're not going there. You're not going there. Joshua is going to take the people into the land. And I'm on Mount Tabor, and I'm standing because there was this priest who came out and spoke to us. And there's this place that's off limits, is where they believe this is the rock where Jesus literally was. And he goes, no one's allowed up here. And he's speaking Spanish. And he says, but I could tell you guys are different. Some of you make great sacrifices. We're all in tears. Like, he's speaking to us. Like, I can sense something different about your group. That there were sacrifices and that you understand this is a holy place. Santo de Piedra, that's a holy rock. And he goes, I'm going to let you in. And so we're all up there just praying, and we're blown away. Like, this is the part reserved for the priest, and he allows us. We're very respectful. There's only, not all of us are there, just a few of us there, and we're just like blown away. And I'm outside, and I'm reminded of the story of Moses and Elijah, and it hits me. It hits me. Moses is in the promised land with Jesus. He may have not gotten there physically, but spiritually he was there. And God immediately quickened me about promises. Just because you're not alive to see the promise fulfilled does not mean the promise was denied. He got to the promised land. He just didn't get there the way he thought he was. God was not honoring his word. Moses, you're not physically going to get there. You're not physically going to lead your people, but there's going to come a day where you're spiritually going to be in the promised land with Messiah, who you've longed to be with. And there he is on Mount Tabor, the Mount of Transfiguration. And who's he with? Elijah and Jesus. He's so real. He's so tangible. He's so there that Peter says, let me build 3 Sukkots. Let me build 3 houses of worship. Let me build 3 temples. Why? Because Moses is with us. Elijah's with us. Jesus, you're with us. He got there. And why am I telling you that? Because God may have spoken a promise to you, and you might not be on this side of heaven to see the promise come to pass, but you can take it to the bank that God's promises will be fulfilled. If he says you're going to get there, you're going to get there. And this has been the Not a Fit Podcast.